Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Cliff London Uncensored. I'm Cliff London, and I just want to make a quick video to say rest in peace to Officer Ella French. Yet another soul taken from us because unfortunately she chose to live in this shithole called Chicago. She'd only been on the force, I believe, 3 years, and she was killed by a fracking routine, not killed by, but killed during a routine traffic stop. There was another officer with her, I believe it was her partner, but I don't know his name, but I think that he had 6 years, and I believe that he on the force, and I believe that he is still in the hospital fighting for his life. I will do a video based off of about giving him a shout out, a rest in peace, when I find out his name. But the one that I found out about is Officer Ella French, and I may or may not have met her while she was still in the academy. I used to work at a restaurant, and she looked strikingly familiar. And I remember a few years ago a couple of trainees coming in, and I'm not absolutely sure, but thinking back to that day, she surely looks familiar. And if it was indeed her, she was a very nice woman, and she tipped me very well as because I would have been her bartender for the evening. But the other reason of making this video is because, as usual, I am irritated. I am pissed off at more leftist hypocritical way of preaching, thinking, living. Which brings me again to the mayor of this war zone, who is also black, along with the chief of police, who is also black. Here we are again, Lori, the dark treasure troll Lightfoot. After she heard about this tragedy of Officer Ella French and her partner, she had a nerve to bring her dust mop head looking self on TV talking about how it's a tragedy and how her heart goes out to the family. But you know what I want to know, Lori Lightfoot? Does your heart go out to the community that gets terrorized when you release criminals due to your leftist policies? Do you care about those people? I doubt you even care about Officer Ella French. You're just grandstanding because we both know that you're a tragic, racist. Which brings me to the suggestion, ladies and gentlemen, that, it's among other things, this is just the cherry on top of the cake. It's time to ask Lori Lightfoot to step down. She has done a horrible job. She is smokescreen. She is in, where that 10 million that she wanted for race to fight racism. Where did that go? Racism is not even the biggest problem in this city. Biggest problem in this city is her. I just want to point out to everybody that if you don't, that doesn't live in Chicago, and I want to point out to people that actually believe that narrative that somehow up in the sky somewhere that there is a white guy pulling all the strings and constantly keeping this city from pulling itself out of the throes of violence. Well, I will tell you, if you believe that, you're living in a dream world. The city's biggest problem is the violence, and the second biggest problem is Lori Lightfoot. And I'm also going to say the chief of police. And I also want to point out that, you guys, the system is run by black folk. She can make policies to go after these, degenerate thugs that everybody likes to worship. She could do that. But instead, she wants to whine to the government about $10 million to fight racism. Or call everyone sexist who criticizes her, or racist that criticizes her. She's done a terrible, terrible job. I even wonder, do you think that, Officer Ella French wasn't on the force very long? What do you think her pension looks like, if there is any? I don't know the ins and outs of police pension, how long you have to be on the force, how much. If you do know about that and have some details to educate me on, I would really appreciate it in the comments section. How long do you have to be on the force to get pension? How much is it? What's it actually meant for? Because I'm under the assumption that after you retire, it's a payment that you get the rest of your life as a job, part of the job agreement, and kind of a, thank you for your service type deal. So if you know in detail about that, let me know in the comments section. But all I know is this: if she had children, they're without a mother now, without somebody bringing a check in. Lori Lightfoot, are you going to use some of that money that you say is to fight racism? Are you going to kick them down with enough money? Because they caught the guys that did this, but what I've noticed is they're not covering them in the media. Why? It looks like one's Hispanic and one black. They broadcast it. I've seen the pictures. They caught them. But they're not going in, they're still, I'm just waiting on the hit pieces on how they have a troubled youth and they did this because they were having a bad day and their action is a reflection of racism. Bullshit. Mayor Lightfoot, it's time to start punishing shitty people for doing shitty things. And then after you're done doing that, you should step down. Because I tell you this, by the time my son's old enough to start school, I won't be here under your tyrannical, bullshit lying regime. Not at all. I don't want to raise another leftist idiot out here speaking with no fucking gumption, with no soul, with no spine, just sheep. That's what most of these people are, just plain sheep. And if you voted for this troll because she's lesbian and black, shame on you, and you're part of the problem too. You should pack your shit up and go to New York or some shit and go make their lives fucking worse. Don't go to anywhere that didn't want your ass there, because you people make these policies, then flee. But that's for another video. Again, let me know what you guys think about Officer Ella French. Let me know if you think Lori Lightfoot is doing a good job or if you think she's doing a bad job. Let me know in the comments section if you think that it's time for her to step down. Chicago, Illinois, everybody. A Democratic-run city with a mayor who has preached that racism's a problem, sexism's the problem. Oh, and her response is, guns are the problem, not evil-ass people that she coddles to. That's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm just getting more and more pissed off, and I gotta head off to work. I'm Cliff London, and remember, there is no fate but what we make for ourselves. Fuck you, Lori Lightfoot. Have a good day, everybody.